are with the final lesson for basic open chords for beginners and intermediate players. I thank you for coming this far. Hope you're having fun. Hope you're learning a lot of stuff. Most importantly, getting the best out of your guitar, as well as maybe having some new concepts, and equally importantly, having some inspiration to continue with your exploration of this instrument. Okay, D, just one key for this last lesson, all right? So here we go. Let's start with open D, no low E. Let's do the notes. A, D, A, D, F sharp. Okay? You can do so much with this chord. You could move the third finger also. You can do a lot of stuff. You can move the first finger. That's why a lot of songs, a lot of guitar-oriented songs are written in D. There's tons of stuff you can do. Okay, let's look at the alternate fingering. There is a purpose to every alternate fingering. Don't be fooled by what you see. It's not just extra work. Okay, essentially the same chord, different fingering. I call this a 2-4-3. But we have an available first finger. You know, we got to do something with it. Let's put it in the bass. So this is now a D over 3. Some people call this chord a D over F sharp. I don't like that.
To me, that sounds like a polychord.
Polychords are very difficult to accomplish on guitar. D over F sharp literally means a D chord being played on top of an F sharp chord. This is more easily done on a piano. For the guitar player, this would be accomplished with the use of a looper or a cell phone, where the first chord would be played and the second chord would be played along with it afterwards.
This is a first inversion D chord.
The 3 is in the bass, F sharp is the 3.
Now the spelling of this chord, guess what? You know what's so cool about this chord? We can use that low E that's like, you know, the forbidden note when you're playing any type of D chord, any type of open D chord. You just can't use that low E. Well, now we've taken care of that because my first finger's on the low E, 2nd fret. Okay, and a lot of uses for that chord. Let's go to another chord. You might not have seen this one. There's a bar open D, small bar. Okay. Your first finger is on the G, B, high E string, 2nd fret, and your second finger is arching over that high E, the B string, 3rd fret. You have not given up the suspended move. It's just done in a different way. Isn't that cool? So you're not giving that up. I know that's one of the treasures of open D. Okay, there's a few advantages to this chord. If you can reach, you intermediate players, you can check this out. You can reach up to the 5th fret and you get some nice melodic work going on. Or if you're in the Lydian vibe, you can. So my point is, you will get the same thing out of sitting down with any one of these chords, just one chord. Don't worry about turning it into a progression. Just kind of sit down and play with the one chord, and you'll discover things and little moves, you know, some of which you've heard, and that's fine, but some might be brand new, you know, and that's what you get from investing time in just sitting down, especially with chords, because the guitar is not obvious. These things aren't obvious. You have to sit down and have it under your fingers, and then you'll explore and come up with some cool things that could turn into a riff, a song, a couple of songs, you know, and then you can add the other chords onto it and make a progression. Okay, so that's it for the D majors. Let's go to D minor. So we have our standard D minor. Now again, we have to go back to the forbidden low E. Don't hit the low E. A, D, A, D, F. Okay, there it is. Now let's do that with another shape. Same exact notes, but we're going to do a 2-4-1 fingering. 2 stays the same, so 2 is on the G string, 2nd fret. Your pinky is on the B string, 4th fret. Your first finger's on the high E string, 1st fret, and you get this. I'll show you a couple of advantages, a lot of advantages to this shape. I think it's a preferred shape for classical guys because it's more comfortable having the 2nd finger there. But it's good knowing both of these shapes. So, one advantage of this shape is your 3rd finger is free, and unlike the other D minor shape, you can walk the bass down, which is awesome. So you can do this. Now you got to change now if you want to go to the... So you can do the walk down, which is great. Okay. The final shape is going to be, you intermediate players, pay attention, you beginners can bow out of this if you want. We're going to do a free the 1st finger move. So the smaller fingers will be handling the D minor chord on the upper strings, and the 1st finger will be doing a bass note.
So in this case, we're going to do a 3rd finger, 2nd fret G, pinky 3rd finger, B string, 2nd finger, 1st fret, high E. If you can do that, now your 1st finger is free.
Now you got D minor over F, but it sounds like an F6, but this is a D minor over 3. 1st inversion D minor chord. F, A, D, and F. Really dramatic if you go to E7. Okay, now there's another way to do that chord, you intermediate players. You keep the 3rd finger and the pinky, but we can switch the 1st and 2nd fingers. So the 1st finger can go on the 1st fret, high E, and the 2nd finger can go on the low E, 1st fret. You might find that that's easier. I think that's easier for me. That's it for the lesson series. I hope you've enjoyed it. Reach out to me with feel free to comment if you have any questions. But that concludes the basic open chords for beginners and intermediate players. If you're wondering why you haven't seen any D flat or E flat, this only covered the alphabetical chords with no sharps or flats. In other words, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but not in that order. I started in the key of E because guitar is in the key of E. So we basically did E and F for video 1, G and A for video 2, B and C for video 3, and finally the key of D for this video. Enjoy.